This is ECOC TV at the Market Focus. I'm joined by Chris Towery of Corning, who's just given a presentation. Chris, good morning to you. You've given a presentation. I think there were three main points you were making.
Yeah, there were. So I was given three main areas to focus on. One was talking about the optical fiber market in general. The other was talking about challenges in the access deployments. And the third was challenges with long-haul deployments.
I think you were saying, actually, you had some very exciting statistics. I mean, fiber optics has been with us, was it 40 years?
Yeah, actually, so this is the 45th year of the invention of optical fiber. And in the past 30 years, when optical fiber has really been deployed, about 2.5 billion kilometers of optical fiber have been deployed up to 2014. And the estimate is that's going to go to 3 billion kilometers in 2016.
Wow, that's amazing. Tell us more about the issues around access that you were talking to in some detail.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges that operators are encountering in the access world are around congestion. And that's due to the size and the amount of optical fiber that they need to get into their network, and being limited by either how much space they have left available in their ducts or how much space is available on the overhead power poles.
Yeah, because I guess they could never have envisaged the sheer demand that there now is for bandwidth.
Absolutely, and I think the other part was that they really didn't count on how many optical fibers they were really going to need as they start to scale out the network. And in many, it's much more efficient for an operator to deploy a lot of fiber and to make single connections than it is to try to do a lot of different branching that may occur.
I guess, as they say, hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Now, you also talked about long haul and the need to get long haul to places it's never really been needed before.
Yeah, and I think that is actually an area that's quite interesting now. I mean, when you look at the cost of an optical fiber network and how that has gone down dramatically, that allows now areas that have been traditionally underserved or not served at all to actually have an optical fiber cable to reach them. And there's been several government initiatives around the world. You know, one example comes to mind in Canada, where they're actually starting to run optical fiber cables out to remote villages in the far north, because they started to see, you know, the differences between populations that are served with fiber or high-speed data and those without. And it really does create a true digital divide between the sort of the haves and the have-nots.
But there are some tremendous logistical problems in delivering that.
Absolutely. So the logistical challenges may be that, you know, in these remote areas, there's no place to stop in between. There's no places to actually have access to remote power, to power amplifiers, for example. So in those cases, what they're trying to do is use very long, unrepeated spans, similar to what's been done in the submarine world for a couple decades now, but now applying that technology into terrestrial applications. Because in many of these places, there is no power, so intermediately. So when you get to the village, there's obviously power, but in between, there's nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with all this demand and all this growth and the demand for smaller fibres, etc., I mean, can we keep pace with it? Can optical fibres continue to deliver?
I think absolutely, and I think if you look at just some of the innovations that have occurred in sort of what are really more traditional types of optical fiber, to where we've recently reduced the attenuation of optical fiber now and set a new world record at a .146 dB per kilometer, which is pretty amazing when you think that the first optical fiber was 17 dB per kilometer when that was. And now we're also increasing the effective area, basically the light carrying region of the optical fiber, to where it's almost twice the size of a standard optical fiber today.
Chris, thanks very much for talking to us today.
Thank you.
So a confident message there from Corning. Optical fibres can continue to cope with the demand out there.